The third episode of this video, where we are building a payment subscription platform using Cello Composer, Subgraph, and we're using OpenZeppelin. In this video, we are going to be deploying a subgraph for our payment subscription platform, where we can use we can query our subscription details from our subgraph, and you will see how that is going to key eventually into our OpenZeppelin Defender. All right. So to get started, if you don't have an account on Subgraph, the first thing is go to on the graph. The first thing is going to thegraph.com and click on sign in. You can sign in with your GitHub straight up like that. That's straightforward. And after doing that, you need to install Graph globally on your machine using npm. Npm install graph. Right here, that's a graph CLI. You need to install this because we are going to be using the graph CLI to perform some things. So if you have been following from video 1 to video 2, you can just open up your editor and open like the code base, and if you're not, you can simply navigate to my GitHub account, navigate to my GitHub, github/Oluwafemi Alofe, and you can clone the repository to continue from there. Name of the repository is Cello Sage Payment Subscription Platform. All right, so let's continue where we left from the previous video. So the first thing you would do is, as you would see, let me clear this for test. As you would see, there's already like subgraph folder, right, in the package. We have that React app and we have subgraph. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to run this command. Subgraph get API. You want to run this command. So let me navigate to the right folder. Where is this? Let me just close this terminal and open it again. So all right, we're back here. So we need to run subgraph get API. So let's do yarn subgraphs get API. Enter network name. Alpha Juris. Enter contracts. What's our contract name again? We come to add that, we come to contract. Our contract is payment subscription. Payment subscription. Payment subscription. Let me open this up and we'll see. Yeah, payment subscription. I don't want to make any mistake. Says cannot read property, blah blah blah, undefined. Now I usually have like this problem, so I kind of have to fix it. If you're using Cello Composer, this problem, like, you know, I had to fix it myself. So to fix this, you just have to go to subgraphs, go to utils, come to this get API. I already have this fix somewhere. I'll just copy and paste the fix here. So that will solve the issue. I don't want to spend so much time trying to remember how I fixed that. Get API. Try and this, yes. And it has something to do with this, the way this address is being accessed. So if I run this again, let's go again. Alpha Juris. What we have here is payment subscription. All right, done. So you need to keep this close to you because we'll be needing soon. And now since payment subscription is deployed at, yeah, this is where our payment subscription contract was deployed. This is the address, and then this is our API part. If let me close this. If I look at my subgraph, I look here right now, you would see payment subscription is here. Let me remove greater and storage off. We do not need those guys. Greater storage, yes, smooth trash. You'd see it moved, payment subscription or JC moved it here. All right. Now that we are done with that, right now, the next step for us to do after running this is we need to run graph units, right? So let's cd to subgraph to packages subgraphs, yes. So let's do graph init. Let's initialize. Yeah, choose Ethereum. And for the next step, choose hosted services. And for our graph name, it has to be your GitHub username slash the subgraph name. So I just want to be sure. Okay, my GitHub username is Alofeoluwafemi, right? Yeah. So then it will be Alofeoluwafemi slash. This will be ebook payment subscription platform. Yeah. So it says directly to create subgraph ebook payment subscription. Yeah, I'll go with that. To select the network, I would use Celo for Juris. And for the contract address, I can always come back to where is that again? Where is this? No, I can't find that again. I should open it in a different terminal. So how I can get that is run yarn. Let me run this command again. The command for generating the API. Let me run that again. Look at readme. No, not this readme. This packet.json. Yes, it will be yarn subgraphs get API alpha juris, and it is payment subscription. Payment subscription, yes. All right, so this is the contact address right here. So it says failed to fetch API from Autotask, that's fine. What you just have to do is copy this API that is here, the part of this API here, everything here from /API, and paste it here. So contract name is what? Payment subscription. Index contract events as entities. Index contract event as entities, no. I don't want it to just populate all of those. You'll notice that's created ebook payment subscription platform folder right here. Let's wait for all of this to be done. Add another contract, no. That's if you want to add like more contracts. We already have payment subscription. If we want to add more contracts for subgraph to index, then we can then it will repeat the whole process all over again. All right, so now that we know that, the next thing that we want to do is let us open up our subgraphs here. Let's come to, let me close this. Storage here is like an old one. Let's delete this off. We don't need this here. It's a waste of space and all. So let's click on ebook payment platform, whatever it is that you decide to use for yours, it will have generated it here. Then the first place I want us to come to in order to fix things up is Subgraph for YAML. You see these are contract address. This is the API for payment subscription. And yeah, the entities that we will create or that has been generated. Let me see the entities that we generated here. Oh, this is the only one that is here. That's because we selected first when it was suggesting to generate those entities. We only need 2 entities, which you would say soon. So in our own case, we only need entities for plan created and for subscriptions. Subscription plan, right? Subscription of a plan. Call it that plan created and so subscription P. You can decide to call your own something else, but I use this. And for our event handlers, the events that we really care about right here are just a few. We care about plan created for sure, and subscription cancelled for sure. Ownership transferred paused. We don't care about these two. So, what this just mean? What this mean is which are the events that I want to respond to, right? When subgraph like indexes and these events are being performed, like it would index and update the whole subgraph based on this particular index, and these are the handler. What will happen when these events are being called? You would see all of this in more detail soon. So plan created we care about this, subscription cancelled we care about this. For some reason I spelled subscription cancelled wrongly. I used up well. We'll just go with that. Then we have subscription charge. We have subscription created. Yeah, that's it. On post we don't care about that. All right, we don't care about that. So there is that. Yeah, and okay. Let me cd into. I'm in this subgraph right now, so let me cd into ebook. Yes, this guy. All right. Let me clear that. Okay. So the next thing that we can do here is let's take care of this. For our entities, we want to have like 2. We want to have plan, and then we want to have, as we defined here, we want to have plan and subscription. No, plan, not plan created. Plan is just my plan and subscription. So let's start with plan. So for our plan, which is our entity, which is like a model, which is, you would say, we're using to represent a plan, right? We're going to have the ID, which is byte. We have the plan itself. Remember, we have basic, premium, and we have a 3, which is 0, 1, 2. So this would just be integer. It doesn't have to be big int. Excuse me, any water? And then we are going to have price, which will also be big int, and then we have duration, which will be big ints because it's just time represented in. And then we'll have subscriptions, like a plan can have subscriptions. All right, so that way we query for a plan, we can also query for the subscriptions that are linked to that plan. So we're going to do like a one-to-many relationship. All right, so subscriptions, right? And the way we can do that with Subgraph is this: subscription derived from plan, derived from this, right? Subscription derived from this. You can read more about derived from the subgraph documentation. There is like many to many, there's one to many. This is like basic one to many. And then we need block number begins, and we also do block time stamp begins, and then transaction hash. All this stuff will come in handy when you're actually trying to query a subgraph. Now, as you would see, my GitHub Copilot suggested this whole piece of code for the entity. Let me see if this works. So subscription entity, but we call that subscription P entity. One thing that I would add is no table true. Same thing for this, no table true. Yeah. So ID bytes, subscriber who's subscribing to this, bytes, because this is going to be an address. Bytes. It's going to be an address. That's how to like add the comments. It's going to be an address. Oh, there was a subscriber there. And then there is the plan that was subscribed to, which is a plan, which is this. All right. So this way we can just query. Once we query for a solution, we can query plan details from subscription directly. Without put plan ID, we can put like the whole plan there. You see how we're going to do something fantastic as that. Block number, block time, transaction hash. We need all of this. Then next charge. So when we are running our query, we can say give us subscription there, and the next charge is not up till today. Then we know that these are subscriptions that are available, that are ready to be charged. So we do next charge. So we have ID subscriber plan next charge, and we need to do end dates. It's also begins. Yes. And then anything we're missing: ID subscriber plan next charge, end dates, block number, block timestamp, transaction hash. Okay, we have all of these right in place. So entities, this. Okay, I'm thinking. So the next thing is, let's open up, come to SRC and come to payment subscription TS right here. Right here, we can put handler method right here. But before we do that, let's just run a command. Let's run graph code gen. Let's see, it's complaining about something. Failed to load subgraph or subgraph.yaml. Error in subgraph schema graph.yaml. GraphQL, what error is here? Unknown subscription. Yeah, that's because this is supposed to be subscription P, not just subscription. I think that should solve our problem right away. Alright, let's run it again. Okay, everything has been generated, everything is fine right now. Next step is, let's come here and then fix all of this. We need to fix all of our handler method right here. What we defined here, that for each of these events they should have its handler methods, and they are all defined in this file inside source, then subscription.typescript. So let us, some of them has been defined as stopped when with the help of graph, it auto-generated most of this stuff, but then we need to like fix most of these things right up, especially the fact that our entities are different, and then we do not need some of these events. So let us get this. Most of these stop off. Just this is what I need to get off. Can just close it. Let's fix some of our imports. We need this helper begins, and we also need bytes. No, not bytes array. yes, that's it, bytes. And for our events, what we need the plan created events. We need it as plan created events. We need the subscription cancelled double L as subscription cancelled events. We need subscription charged as subscription charge events. We need subscription created as subscription created events, and then we need payment subscription as payment subscription contracts. Yep, that's our contracts, by the way. And one other thing, we need payment subscription underscore results. We need this class too. You'll see why we need that soon. And from our schema, we know what our schema is. We have the plan schema, and then we have the subscription B as subscription. Yep. I feel like I need to return all of these things I deleted. I feel like I need to return it back. Let me see if I can return it back, because I'm feeling lazy to type. Okay, this and this, yeah. You see why I did that soon. So what we actually don't need is, we don't need ownership transferred. This one is supposed to go off anyway. We want to first do undo plan created. So we have undo plan created right here. So the first thing we do is, let entity, which is entity, equal new plan. So it's to try to see if there is like a new plan, and then fetch it. Okay, this is plan created. That means it needs to create a new plan. So in this case, it's quite different. So what this will do is, for every new plan that is being created, right, it's going to create this in the subgraph for us, like create a new plan, right, in the subgraph database, sort of, if you see it that way. So let's do events.transaction dash con cats. I'm trying to get something unique. Event transaction hash .concat. This should be suggesting for me what is not. I don't know why. Event transaction hash .concat events.log index dot to not works. In this case, all we have is plan created event. Yes, this should work. I should be fine. I can just replace undo plan created with the rest of the character. Yes. So entity dot plan will be events dot params dot plan, entity dot price, event dot param dot price, entity dot duration, event dot params dot duration, entity dot block number, events dot block number, block entity dot block timestamp, block timestamp, Then finally, entity dot transaction hash, event dot transaction dot hash, and then finally we can call entity dot save. So let's see. First, we define entity here, and then we say new plan is entity event dot transaction dot hash dot concat ititle event dot log index to ititle. So that should be unique enough. All right. What's the next thing that we have again? Plan creator. We should have subscription cancelled, which is undo subscription cancelled. So let me simply just copy this and so this should be subscription cancelled events. So it should be undo subscription cancelled. So in this case, for a subscription to be cancelled, the entity already exists. Let's say let entity equal subscription dot load since we expect one, like a particular subscriber to have just a single subscription, so it is safe to set the ID, right, to be able to check for a subscription as the subscriber address, right? So we can do events dot params dot subscribe. You would see when we are handling the subscription created. So if entity is null, just return, right? Because if you're trying to like cancel a subscription that already exists, we'll have an issue here. So if the entity could not be found, just simply return. Do not proceed to do any other thing. So entity dot next charge will be 0. Begins from 0. Because no more next charge, right? Then entity dot end date also will be 0. And then we can call entity dot save. So the next thing we want to do is to write out our handle subscription charge. Just to be clear, we have written undo plan created, undo subscription cancelled. Now we need to write undo subscription charge and undo subscription created. So undo subscription charge, we have this for undo subscription charge. Let's do this. All right. So when our subscription is charged, we also want to load it. So this has been written load subscription. Let's start with if entity is not equal null, means it's able to find that that solution exists. So let's say let's do the opposite, which is if entity equal null. Right, if our entity equals null, like if the subscription doesn't exist, so let's do new subscription event, the params of subscriber. Again, one other thing that we have to do is we have to also like define some things like the plan, the subscriber, and the end date for a new subscription entity. So in order to be able to help us do this, we need like two helper here. First, we need to create the payment solution contracts. Like we need to not like create it. We need to create an instance of it, yes, and then we need to also use these that I imported here, which is the payment subscription result. You'll see that in a moment. So let's see payments subscription contracts equals payment subscription contracts bind event or address. Now we have right now we can interact with the contract as you would normally, which is we can say payment subscription contract dot call a public function or like a view function and would get the response. So let's subscription equals this. So entity dot plan is equal bytes dot from I32 no subscription dot get plan this get plan is a method on a smart contract, remember that. So entity dot subscriber entity dot subscriber equals event appearance dot subscriber, then entity dot end it equal subscription dot get end it. All right. So our event again is handling subscription charge. So when a subscription is charged, what we want to do is we want to increment the next charge date. So the next charge date will be what is passing our event, which is event operations the next charge date, and the rest of the thing just comes here, which is block number, transaction, block time, and transaction hash, and then we go into the save. That's straightforward. Done. All right. And the last handler that I want to write out is undo subscription created. So you pass in subscription created events, and then again our entity, which is we load our entity, or we create new entity in this case, because right here this is when the entity is being created, so we can't load from any reference. So entity, then we have entity dot subscriber. So then see that's event of parameter subscriber, right? Again, we need these two helpers that we used here. So let's be satisfied. Okay. Again, we can use this entity dot plan, entity dot end date, and entity dot plan, entity dot next date. We already set the subscriber, so you are fine. Entity dot plan, entity dot end date, entity dot so the next thing is entity dot next charge will be subscription dot get next charge. And then the general one, block number, block timestamp, all of this. And then we can call entity.save. Okay, so I think we have everything all written out. So we've written our undo method. The next thing for us to do right now is to upload our subgraph. So in order to do that, we need to go back to our browser, go back to thegraph.com, and let's go to my dashboard. Let's create like add subgraph right here. Subgraph name. I would like to use what we named our folder, which is ebook payment subscription platform. Let's just do that. Ebook payment subscription platform. I'll copy that. Let me use that for subtitle. Ebook. Let me just call it ebook subscription platform. All right. So let us create this. After doing this, next thing we need to do right here is, we've done all of this mostly, all right, at one point in time. Let's do graph alt. Let's run this command. Just copy this, right, and let's go back here. Make sure you're inside like the folder of this that was generated. Now, graph alt product toasted. Let's do that. Deploy key, and the next thing we need to do again is to run graph deploy to deploy our graph live. Okay, I hope there is no problem. All right, that was faster than I thought. Now this has been deployed. Let's click on this and open and see. So right now it is still currently indexing. It's still currently indexing, right? It's syncing until it gets to 100%. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and we would see and wait. Basically, we'll just wait for. Oh, as a matter of fact, while we're waiting, what we could just simply do is continue with our front end, which is write our front end to be able to subscribe. All right, we'll link our front end to a smart contract like that. That's what we simply do next now. And while we are at, hopefully this would have synced 100%.